She didn't leave overnight. She left. In 4 sentences. And you believed every single one of them. I'm just tired. I need to focus on myself. You're too controlling. I just want us to be honest. 4 sentences. That's all it took. And here's what nobody tells Zoe. She didn't say those words to hurt you. She said them to buy time. Time to build something else. Somewhere else. With someone else. If you've ever felt your relationship slowly slipping away, and every time you tried to hold on, somehow you became the problem, stay right here, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the 4 most dangerous lies women tell before they check out of a relationship. Not what they say, but what those words actually mean. And at the end, I'll give you the one move that changes everything. Let's get into it. This one sounds like stress. It sounds like exhaustion. Like life got heavy and she just needs a little time. And that's exactly why it works. Because you're a good man. You hear it and you think, give her space. Be patient. Don't pressure her. You tell yourself, this is what understanding looks like. But men, I need you to hear this clearly. Real love doesn't shut down physical connection. It seeks it even in exhaustion. Think about that for a second. When a woman truly loves you, when she feels safe with you, when you are her home, stress doesn't push her away from you. It pulls her closer. She doesn't need passion every single night, but she needs you. Your arms, your presence, the feeling of her man beside her. That need doesn't disappear when life gets hard. It disappears when you do, in her heart. So when she suddenly has zero interest in touching you, not for a week, not for a month, when she flinches at your hand on her back, when a simple kiss on the forehead feels like a burden to her, that is not stress. Men, that is redirection. Her body didn't stop wanting intimacy. It stopped wanting intimacy with you. And here's the psychology behind it, and this part is going to sting. When a woman begins investing emotionally in another man, her body starts to react. Closeness with you begins to feel uncomfortable, not because she hates you, but because somewhere in her mind, she's already started to belong to someone else, and touching you feels like a betrayal of him. You went from being her safe place to being her guilt. That's not tiredness. That's not stress. That is a woman protecting a bond she is secretly building somewhere else. And here's the contrast I need you to watch for, because this is where most men miss it completely. She says she's drained. She says she has nothing left. But then you notice something doesn't add up. She's up at 6 a.m. for the gym, something she hadn't done in 2 years. New clothes, tighter fits, a confidence you haven't seen in a long time. Her phone lights up constantly, and she angles the screen just slightly. Away from you, she laughs more. Just not around you. Her body is alive again. Just not for you. That contrast right there, that is your answer. Not what she says. What she does. Let me tell you about David. 41 years old, financial analyst, came to me completely hollowed out. His girlfriend of 3 years had been pulling away for months. Every time he reached for her, emotionally, physically, she said the same thing. I'm just drained. Work has been a lot. And David believed her, because it made sense. Long hours, deadlines. He told himself she needs support right now, not pressure. So he backed off. He gave her space. He was patient. But then the details started piling up. New gym routine, new wardrobe, hours on her phone in the bathroom, a brightness in her eyes when she came home late that faded the moment she saw him. David told me, "It wasn't anger I felt when I finally understood. It was grief, like mourning someone who was still standing right in front of me. That hit me, because that's exactly what it is. You're not losing her in one moment. You're watching her disappear. Slowly. While still sharing the same bed. Men, I want you to hold on to something before we move forward. This isn't about becoming paranoid. This isn't about interrogating her every move. The Stoics had a principle: focus only on what is within your control. You cannot control her choices, but you can control whether you keep your eyes open or choose comfort over clarity. Awareness is not weakness. Awareness is armor. So when she says she's not in the mood, don't argue. Don't beg. Don't shut down. Watch. Does she still reach for you in small ways? A touch on the arm, leaning into you on the couch, a look across the room that says, "You're mine," or has all of that gone quiet? While everything else in her life seems to be waking up, that contrast is your answer. And it leads us directly into lie number 2, because while you were giving her space, being understanding, being patient, she was using that space to build something else entirely. You heard this, and you felt proud. Finally, she's doing the inner work. She's growing. This is healthy. This is good for both of us. And men, I want to be fair here. Sometimes that's exactly what it is. Real growth, real healing. And when it's genuine, it's beautiful. It makes love stronger. It makes her a better partner. It makes you both better together. But there's a difference. And this difference is everything. When a woman truly wants to grow inside a healthy relationship, she pulls you in. She shares what she's discovering about herself. She says, "I've been reading about attachment styles. Can we talk about this together?" She comes home from a solo walk and tells you what she was thinking about. Her growth becomes a conversation, a bridge between you. Real self-growth in love is collaborative. It moves toward you, not away. But when she wants to focus on herself in complete isolation, when every effort you make to be part of her journey is met with resistance, when your presence is treated like an obstacle to her healing, that is not self-growth. Men, that is self-separation. She is quietly building a version of herself that no longer has you in it, so that when she eventually walks away emotionally or physically, she can look herself in the mirror and say, "I didn't betray him. I just outgrew him." That's not the truth. That's the story she needs. So she doesn't have to feel the guilt. And here's what makes this lie so sophisticated. She doesn't just create distance. She makes you responsible for it. Every time you try to stay connected, you're suffocating her. Every time you ask what she's learning, you're invading her space. Every time you want to be included, you're proving you don't respect her independence. She takes your completely natural desire to stay close to the woman you love and reframes it as a character flaw. Men, she has weaponized self-growth against you, and you'll find yourself apologizing for wanting to matter in her life. Let me tell you about Chris, 46 years old, runs an auto repair shop, came to me with his hands still calloused, his eyes completely lost. His girlfriend had started talking about healing her inner child, finding her authentic self, breaking generational patterns. Chris supported every bit of it. He was proud of her. He even paid for weekend workshops she wanted to attend without question, without hesitation. But slowly, the shift started. Every workshop was for her only. Every journaling session was locked away. She had nothing to share, not a single insight, not a single breakthrough she wanted to talk about with him. When Chris suggested reading one of the same books so they could discuss it together, she snapped, "This is my journey, not yours." And when he asked gently, without anger, what she was actually learning, she looked at him like he was the problem. "Why can't you just support me without needing to be involved in everything Chris told me?" I felt like a stranger in my own relationship, like I was standing outside a room she was living in, knocking on a door that used to always be open. Meanwhile, her self-focus included weekend trips he wasn't invited to, late nights at events with people he'd never met, hours online in conversations she'd close the moment he walked in. Chris wasn't losing a girlfriend who was healing. He was losing a girlfriend who was leaving and using the language of personal growth as cover. Men, ask yourself one question, just one. Does her growth bring you closer? Or does it require you to disappear? Does she share her discoveries with you? Or does every step forward she takes come with a step back from you? Real growth makes love stronger. Fake growth makes betrayal easier. The Stoics understood something about this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In a healthy relationship, challenges become fuel. They don't become exits. When she uses growth as an exit that's not philosophy, that's strategy. And men don't mistake strategy for spirituality. So when she says she needs to focus on herself, don't beg, don't demand inclusion, don't chase. Observe. Does her evolution include you, even in small ways? Or does every new version of her seem to need a little less of you? That answer will tell you everything. Because now she's distant. She's cold. She's growing in directions you can't follow. And when you finally find the courage to speak up, to ask, "What's happening?" to say something feels wrong between us, she doesn't answer. She attacks. That's lie number 3. And it's the most psychologically dangerous one of all. This one doesn't just deflect, it destroys. Not her reputation, not the relationship. It destroys something far more valuable than either of those things. It destroys your trust in yourself. And that is exactly what it's designed to do. Here's how it works. You've been patient. You've given her space. You've supported her growth. You've done everything right. But something still feels off deep in your gut, in your chest, in the way she looks at her phone and then looks at you. So you ask, calmly, reasonably, "Hey, who were you texting last night? You seem distant this week. Is everything okay between us? Where are you headed tonight?" Normal questions. The kind any caring partner would ask. The kind that come from love, not suspicion. And instead of an answer, you get an explosion. "Why are you always checking on me? You're so possessive. I can't breathe around you. You're insecure. You're controlling. You're toxic." Within 30 seconds, you're no longer asking about her behavior. You're defending your character. The conversation shifted, and you didn't even see it happen. Men, I need you to understand something fundamental about human psychology right here. When a person has nothing to hide, questions feel like conversation. They answer naturally, openly, sometimes with more detail than you even asked for. Transparency is effortless when you're telling the truth. But when someone is keeping secrets, every question feels like a threat. Every innocent word becomes a potential exposure. And the fastest way to shut down an interrogation is to make the person asking feel like they are the problem. So she doesn't answer your question. She makes you regret asking it. This is gaslighting. And I want to be precise about what that word actually means, because it gets thrown around a lot and loses its power. Gaslighting is when someone causes you to question your own perception of reality, your own memory, your own sanity. It's not just lying. It's making you feel like your instincts are the problem, like the very thing inside you that's trying to protect you is actually your greatest flaw. She's not just hiding something, she's convincing you that looking for it makes you broken. There's also a specific pattern behind this that psychologists call DARVO, déni, attack, reverse, victim and offender. First she denies, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Then she attacks, you're paranoid, you're insecure. Then she reverses. Suddenly, she is the victim of your controlling behavior. And you are the offender who needs to apologize. You came in with a simple question. You leave apologizing for asking it. Let me tell you about Mark, 54 years old, restaurant manager, spent his whole career reading people, managing conflict, staying calm under pressure. He thought he knew how to handle difficult conversations. One night he noticed his girlfriend texting phone angled just slightly away. Screen dimmed lower than usual. He asked casually, no edge in his voice, no accusation. Who's messaging you this late? What happened next stunned him. She erupted. Why are you always watching me? You're so paranoid. I can't even exist in this relationship without you tracking my every move. This is exactly why I feel suffocated. You're toxic. Mark, you need help. Mark told me. I stood there completely frozen. I came in with one question and walked out feeling like a criminal. I actually apologized. I apologized for asking who was texting her. He spent the next 2 weeks walking on eggshells, telling himself maybe she's right. Maybe I am too suspicious. Maybe I need to trust more and question less. He stopped asking questions. He stopped noticing things. He silenced himself completely. 3 months later, he found out she had been building a relationship with a coworker, the exact man she was texting that night. The explosion wasn't emotional. It wasn't even personal. It was calculated. And men, this is the part that should make you stop and think. It wasn't just one explosion that broke Mark. It was what happened after, because she didn't just deflect once. She conditioned him, week after week. Every time he got close to the truth, another explosion, another accusation, another round of, you're too controlling. Until Mark's instincts went completely quiet. That's the real damage of this lie. It's not the single moment of gaslighting. It's the slow erosion of your ability to trust what you feel, what you see, what you know. You stop asking questions not because everything is fine, but because asking feels more painful than not knowing. Epictetus said men are disturbed not by things, but by their opinions about things. She is not changing reality. She is changing your opinion of reality. Replacing your clear perception with her version of events, one accusation at a time. And once she owns your perception, she owns you. So men, hear me clearly on this. Your questions are not the problem. Your instincts are not the problem. Your desire to understand what's happening in your own relationship is not controlling. It is conscious. It is what an aware man does. It is what a man with self-respect does. The moment you start apologizing for basic awareness, you've handed her the keys to your mind. Don't do it. When she calls you controlling, don't collapse. Don't explode either. Just pause and ask yourself one honest question. Was what I asked unreasonable? Or was it basic? If it was basic and she still attacked, that's not about your behavior. That's about her exposure. Hold that thought. Because just when you've been beaten down enough to stop asking questions, just when you've convinced yourself that silence is safer than truth, she offers you something that looks like everything you've been waiting for. Honesty. Real. Open. Vulnerable honesty. Except men. It's the most sophisticated trap of all four. This one sounds like a gift. After the coldness, after the distance, after being called controlling for asking basic questions, she sits down, looks at you with soft eyes, and says, I want us to have something real. No more walls. I want to truly know you, and I want you to truly know me. And something inside you, exhale. Finally, the conversation that fixes everything. So you open up. You tell her things you've never said out loud. Childhood wounds. Old failures. The fears you carry in silence. The dreams you've never shared with anyone. You give her everything. Because this feels like real intimacy. Except men, she's not opening a door. She's picking a lock. Because what looks like radical honesty is actually radical extraction. She creates the atmosphere of total transparency, but the information only flows one direction. Toward her, she learns your wounds, your triggers, your deepest insecurities. And while you're handing her the keys to every vulnerable corner of your soul, she is carefully controlling exactly what she gives back. This is selective honesty, and it is the most sophisticated trap in this entire sequence. Here's how you know it's happening. The moment you try to flip it when you ask about the new guy she keeps mentioning, when you ask why she's been so distant, when you try to understand the parts of her life that feel hidden, the warmth disappears instantly. I've been so open with you. Why do you always turn this into an interrogation? I thought we were past this. She fed you just enough truth to keep you calm, while hiding the truth that would change everything. Scraps of transparency so you feel guilty asking for a full meal. Tom, 50 years old, assurance agent, a man who's spent his career reading risk, spotting gaps, protecting people from what they didn't see coming. Inside his relationship, he never saw it coming. His girlfriend initiated the honesty conversation on a quiet Sunday evening, and Tom, a man who had kept his walls up his whole life, finally let them down. He told her about his first heartbreak, his failed business, his fear of never being enough. She listened, held his hand, said all the right things. But when Tom asked simple questions of his own, who were you on the phone with for 2 hours last night? The softness vanished. I just poured my heart out, and you turn it into an interrogation. I thought you trusted me. Tom told me I felt like I was losing my mind. 1 minute, she wanted complete honesty. The next minute, my questions were a betrayal of that honesty. I couldn't find solid ground anywhere. He was an open book. She was a locked safe. Men, real honesty doesn't feel like that. Real honesty flows both ways, naturally, without guilt, without temperature changes the moment questions cut too close. You don't have to pull it out of her. You don't feel ashamed for wanting it. Augustine said it best. The truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. Real truth doesn't need to be protected from your questions. Only lies do. So when she offers you honesty, receive it. But watch what happens when you offer it back. If that door swings both ways, you have something worth protecting. If it only opens one way, you're not in a relationship. Men, you're in an interrogation room, and you're the only one in the chair. Men, let's bring this home. She didn't betray you in one moment. She did it slowly, quietly, one sentence at a time, and you stood there patient, loving, giving everything you had. That's not weakness. That's who you are. A man who showed up fully for someone who was already halfway out the door. But here's your power. Don't argue. Don't chase. Don't beg. Observe, because actions never lie. Words can be crafted. Behavior cannot be faked, not forever. The right woman will never make you feel like a detective in your own relationship. Remember that. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Stay sharp. Stay grounded. Stay awake. And if this video hit different today, drop one word in the comments. Just one word that describes exactly how you felt watching this. I read every single one,